Hey guys, welcome back to Soulback Sports, and I'm Soulback with another video. And I guess now that we're kind of at a position now where the number one overall pick is pretty much decided with what the Chicago Bears are going to do. We've added a bunch of pieces at wide receiver, tackle, etc., etc. But the main question that everyone's mind is that what are we going to do with the ninth overall pick? Obviously, the Chicago Bears currently have the first and ninth pick in the first round of the NFL draft. So the real question is, what is the ninth pick going to be? Are we going to take someone at 9? Are we going to trade down? And I feel like the best course of action for the Chicago Bears going forward is to trade down that ninth overall pick. So who are we going to trade it to? Well, I have 3 teams that could be potential suitors for the Chicago Bears number 9 overall pick. But before we get into today's video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot, and it really helps me create content like this for you guys. So please subscribe. We're almost at 500 subscribers, so it would mean a lot if you can subscribe right now. Anyways, going into the video, so the 3 teams, they're potentially like low, obviously lower than 9, and could be suitors to move up and get their guy going into the draft. And let's go with the first team on my mind, and that is the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, the Indianapolis Colts are 15th pick in the draft right now, and they finished the season 9-8. So what is their current situation right now? Well, they've only had 4 games with Anthony Richardson at the front, and pretty much they've seen a lot of potential with Anthony Richardson. Obviously, he went down with injury, and it kind of to the point where it's like, okay, we know at least a little bit enough, and let's just get this guy some help right now. Okay. And going into the draft, they really need to add more help for Richardson. And what can you do with that? Adding a wide receiver. Wide receiver is definitely going to be a point of emphasis for the Indianapolis Colts, given that they re-signed Pittman Jr. to an extension, and they've added trying to bolster up their offense. They have Jonathan Taylor to, be able to do that, but they did lose Zach Moss as a running back too. But, I think they'll be fine in general. They can probably get a running back in the later rounds in the draft. So, if they're going to go for wide receiver, they can trade with the Chicago Bears to go to number 9 and select their guy. And, there's a potential rumbling that Rome Odunze and Malik Neighbors could even, be on the board still at number 9. So why not take that chance and draft your wide receiver? Obviously, trading number 9, you'll have to give up some picks and maybe a player or two. So I think if you're trying to win now, and thing is with Gardner Minshew, you're still able to win 9 games and almost make it to the playoffs if it weren't for you losing to the Texans, right? And also, you had Josh Downs too. Don't forget, Josh Downs was proving to be a solid wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 option if you have him. So, wide receiver definitely for the Indianapolis Colts, or maybe even go for offensive tackle, like maybe a Joe Alt could be awesome too as well. So I think that's a good emphasis. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders, and yes, the Las Vegas Raiders, they had a 13th pick in the draft, and they finished the season 8-9. Surprisingly, because given their whole circumstances, they've still finished with 8 wins, and they even got a win against the Chiefs, but that's here nor there. Anyways, so they are in a position where they brought in Gardner Minshew from the Colts. I love how I segued that into that. And they have a chance to potentially draft a quarterback. And I think a quarterback is their priority at this point because Gardner Minshew is a good backup option. But the thing is, you need a quarterback to develop behind Gardner Minshew. So if you're going to trade out with the Chicago Bears, you probably want to draft like a JJ McCarthy or Penix Jr., Bo Nix, that's potentially going to fall to that level. I mean, Bo Nix is potentially a fringe second round pick, so maybe, I don't know, maybe Michael Penix Jr. or even JJ McCarthy are still there. Maybe take a chance on them. So that could be an option for the Las Vegas Raiders. Maybe even a wide receiver, but I don't think you really need to. I mean, maybe you do because Davante Adams is getting up there in age, and you kind of want to still add to that wide receiver room as well. So you have multiple needs: offensive line, defensive back, maybe even linebacker too. But that could be like linebacker and defensive back can be more second round too. So it's not very necessary. Wide receiver, I would go, or if not, most likely you're gonna go with the quarterback in that spot. And finally, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, I know, Pittsburgh Steelers. They recently just got Justin Fields. And given that they gave up Deontay Johnson to the Carolina Panthers, you have only George Pickens as your best receiver right now. So, Pickens needs another wide receiver to go along with that offense. Now that you have Russell Wilson and either or Justin Fields at the helm, you need to add a wide receiver. So, what can you do? If you are trade with the Chicago Bears, which would be kind of funny to do because not only did you get Justin Fields from the Chicago Bears, but you're also potentially trading with the Chicago Bears to move up and get the 9th overall pick. So you can trade out and essentially get Neighbors, Odunze if they're available. Obviously, build up that wide receiver core. You don't really need to do anything on defense. Your defense is pretty set already. Yeah. So all in all, this is for the Chicago Bears going forward. Like, you want to gather picks now. You only have 4 picks this entire draft, 2 in the first round and 2 in the later rounds. So it's important that you find a way to trade down and get some more picks so you can still build this offense. I mean, not necessarily. Another like perspective that I was like looking at is that you don't necessarily need to get all those picks either. You don't have to trade down as well. That's like another argument that's being made where it's like you can keep these 4 picks and then you already have a solid enough team to go through the season that the following season you have a load of picks that you still have a first round, second round pick, and etc. to build that team further and further and make it more and more complete. So if that's the route that the Chicago Bears are going to go with in trading down, these are the 3 teams that I would probably even consider getting a call from and making a move in that sense. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. These are the 3 teams. Let me know if you have any other teams that could potentially be like suitors for the Chicago Bears to trade down. I would love to read what you guys have to say. And yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for the draft. The more draft content coming up soon. And yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you guys want to see from me and what you want me to cover as well. I'm always open to options. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.